Notes here. I haven't spoken in front of this many people since I got married, so I messed up the vows pretty bad. I don't even know if I'm legally married or not. But first, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for including me with all these great athletes, and it's a great honor, and I'm truly thankful. Anders and Liam, before I lose your attention, I want to give you some advice. Listen to your Uncle Charlie and your grandpa, okay? Do every single thing that they tell you to do. I was able to apply about half of what they told me, and I landed up here. So if you can do all of it, you'll be okay. Sarah was my girlfriend at the time when I was in high school, and her lack of knowledge about baseball and sports in general made it impossible to impress her. So it took all the pressure off me when I tried to do so. So to my wife, or longtime girlfriend, however the state recognizes it. Thank you. Elsa, you could learn a lot from your mother. Don't let a boy in high school try to impress you with his athletic ability, okay? You should instead be impressed by, well, just wait till college until you meet a boy, or after that, okay? Grandma Dorothy, she's not here, but she used to come to all our games and bring a cowbell, and everyone loved it. When I say everyone, I mean maybe me, Bob Highfield, maybe two other people. But her enthusiasm was unmatched, and I appreciate that. Mama, thank you and Papaw for coming to all the games, and for raising three great sons who have all impacted my life. Me being here tonight is a direct result of Dad and Uncle Charlie and their work over the years, and Papaw would be proud of them for that. There's a quote out there, I don't know who said it, but the best way to thank the Lord for the gifts that He's given you is to share those gifts with others. And that's what Dad and Charlie have done through sports and what Uncle Bruce has done with his music. So good job raising your boys. Mom, thanks for all your support over the years. My mom was a favorite in the neighborhood when we would have a baseball game in the backyard because she'd bring out Kool-Aid and Little Debbie's. And all the kids would love that. When she was home from work, she would do that. And then she'd go back to work and we'd go back to drinking out of the hose again. Thank you, Mom. Thanks to all the friends and neighbors in the Sherman Terrace subdivision for playing baseball every day in the summer. And I'm sorry for the damage to your homes and vehicles. And I promise I'll never break your windows again. Thanks to my MYO coaches, Ronnie and Joyce Atkins, Bill Easterling, Tom and Steve Kraft, Gus Nutley, and my first Mason Flyers coach, Steve Skeens. Thank you, Jack Flaherty, Senior Flaherty Insurance, for many years of generous sponsorship for those teams. Appreciate that. George Highfield, thank you for your years of coaching the Mason Flyers. In hindsight, the most impressive thing to me for those teams is we had our summer team was our entire Division I high school team, and you don't see that anymore. All the kids split up and they go, some kids on this team, some kids on that team. But it's a testament to George's great personality and leadership. And I appreciate you keeping us all together for all those years. We had a good time. That brings me to Bob Highfield. He was my teammate for 11 years. That was more than anybody else. And I really enjoyed being your teammate. I loved every minute of it. And Bob was the best athlete by far that I've ever played with. So thank you for all that time. Thanks to the Kelly family. Brian became my best friend in the first grade. And their house became a second home to me. Brian, his dad Eddie, and Grandpa Jack, they would beat me in every single sport that there was. Ping pong, tetherball, badminton, didn't matter. They were going to beat me, so I learned to lose with dignity in their driveway. That's what I did. Thank you to all Dad's former players, there's a lot of them here, for letting me join in the practice and run around at a young age. And I know it's probably a hassle to have a little kid running around, but I appreciate it. And you letting me join into the drills and things like that over time, that had a lot to do with me, gaining confidence and things like that. So I appreciate it. Coach Richards, still here, all right?
Still here, right?
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for hanging around. He's my freshman coach, and I don't know if you can remember it or not, but probably don't. You came over to our house to drop something off or pick something up, and I had a station in the garage set up to hit. I had a ball hanging from the ceiling, and on the floor I wrote in a, I don't know, 90s way, it said goal 420 for my batting average. Set it down on the floor. And he walked in and looks at it and says, hey, you hit 420 this year. You're going to have to improve next year. You're going to need to hit 430 or 440. Next year, you'll need to hit 470 or 4. By the time you're a senior, you're going to need to hit around 500. And I always remembered that. It stuck in my head, and I set that goal, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Is Coach Gray still here? If he's here, I better not read this card. All right. Thanks, Coach Gray. Coach Gray had us run so much, I thought I would get an honorary varsity letter in cross country as well. Coach Gray won 768 games because he was great at recognizing his team's strength and building a game plan around that. Our team, we had no pitching. Sorry to any of the pitchers that are here, but we did not. I was one of them, trust me. And he had to turn us loose and just put the bunt sign away and just let us hit. And that's what we did. I think we averaged 10 runs a game, and that helped us win a lot. So I appreciate that. Also, Coach Gray, my freshman season, brought me in and gave me the talk. He said, we're going to keep you down on the JV team this year. And I was really disappointed at the time, but it was crucial in building my confidence and skill set at that level. And I got to play that year under Dad, Coach Richards, and it was really important. So thank you for that tough decision. Well, probably not tough for you, but it was tough. My Uncle Charlie, when Charlie would come out and throw his batting practice, it was a humbling experience for me. I could never hit it. Couldn't. But it helped me recognize I needed to work on hitting high pitches. That's where they were all coming in. I couldn't catch up with it. So I went out to the ball I had hanging in the garage, and I cranked it up a notch. Started to learn how to hit that high pitch. And once I began to do that, I began to hit for more power and get extra base hits. And he coached me in basketball, too, in 8th grade. And his coaching style infused humor, simple instruction, and fun competition. I'm grateful for all that you've done in sports and life for me. I really appreciate it. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my dad. He was the greatest coach anyone could ever ask for. His knowledge of the game, his delivery of that knowledge, and his great motivation and positive leadership gave him all the tools to mold a great baseball player. Unfortunately for him, when he was given a son, he got me. A little slow, a little undersized, a little slow. And, Jeff mentioned Coach Keaton. Keaton made a comment about my physical appearance when I was a freshman. He was my gym teacher. I walked out, the first day. I'm wearing shorts. He says, Andrews, are those your legs or are you riding a chicken? So that's the sort of, that's what we're dealing with. That's, my dad had all this knowledge and he's got to build me into the player. So, where was I? He had his work cut out for him, as I was saying. By keeping me around ball games and practices, I grew to love the game that he loved. It was his approach to hitting, pitching, and fielding that I followed. For that reason, I was able to overcome my lack of natural ability. His loyalty to the town of Mason kept him here for decades, despite opportunities to coach elsewhere. He loved his community and wanted to help the youth in the town where he grew up, and he should be commended for that. I left room for an applause break if you guys want to do that. Thank you. I thank the good Lord for all the things that he's given me, but as far as sports goes, I couldn't have a better leader than my father. And the greatest thing he ever did was drop me into the lap of him when I was a baby. And without him, I would not be up here today. Love you, Dad. God bless. Thank you all.